Welcome back, Kimberly. Today I will be talking to you guys about something that I've honestly kind of been avoiding talking about. I get a lot of questions about this subject and I've never really properly addressed it on my channel. And the main reason for that is just because it's kind of controversial. There is a lot of different opinions when it comes to this topic, and it's very important that I come at this the right way and explain it to you guys in a way that doesn't promote what I'm doing, doesn't tell you guys that this is what I'm doing and this is what you should do too. Because what I did is not, by all means, not the right decision for everyone. And I'll get more into that later into this video. I just hope that my point comes across to you guys and you can understand why I made this decision for myself. So yeah, I guess we'll just get right into it. I've always been very smart. School has come very easily to me. I've always loved learning. So yeah, I just want to lay that out there. I have never had a problem with school and education and learning. I love learning new things. I grew up in Hawaii, so the education was very different there. So for example, when I was in 4th grade, I was learning stuff that most states would consider to be on a 3rd grade level. So the Hawaii school system is just kind of a year behind. When I was 12, I moved to Texas and I started middle school. It was a little bit harder because, like I said, it was a year behind, so I kind of had a gap year of a lot of stuff that I didn't know that I should have known and all my classmates already knew. So it was a little hard navigating all of that. But once I kind of caught myself up, I did amazing at school. I loved school, still had great grades, still did perfectly fine in it. I did have a lot of issues my middle school years, not regarding school, just regarding life. So that did kind of get in the way of my education. I ended up having to switch schools that year. So after switching middle schools towards the end of 8th grade, which is almost done with middle school, it was kind of hard adjusting to a new school and everything in the last semester of the school year. Everyone had already been used to their classes and just the way that school worked, and I wasn't. So again, I had to kind of catch up and get back on track with everyone. So the end of my 8th grade year, I did not get very good grades. Then I started high school and I was doing amazing again. I was thriving. I loved high school, but only the learning part of it. I loved my classes and my teachers, and I got straight A's that whole year, 4.0 GPA. But as far as the social aspect, I did horribly. I had started dating this guy named Landon the summer before I started high school, so we went into high school together. And because I had him and he was my best friend and we did everything together, I didn't really have much room for any other friends. And I was just kind of a weird kid, weird person. No one really wanted to hang around me. I got teased. And nothing crazy. I wasn't bullied, I would say, but I definitely got teased here and there for what I would wear and how I would act. So about 3 months into freshman year, I kind of started to isolate myself and not really socialize a whole lot. But that just led me to focusing on school more, and I really tried hard that year and got great grades. So yeah. To sum things up, I had a great relationship with school and education throughout my whole entire history of learning, but during high school I isolated myself a lot of the time and did not have a great time in high school as far as making friends, going to football games, all of that stuff. But I still had Landon and he really got me through my high school years. I don't think I could have done it without him. So yeah, we dated freshman and sophomore year, and at the end of my sophomore year, the summer leading into junior year, I ended up pregnant. And at the same time that I learned that I was pregnant, I also learned that I would be moving to Florida. My family did not want to live in Texas anymore. They wanted to be by the beach, so they decided that we would be moving to Florida, which means moving away from my boyfriend and also moving away from my school. School started middle August and I was leaving in the middle of September, so I still had 1 more month of school to go to before I moved. And I couldn't just not go to school, so they signed me up back into the school that I had been going to. So when I went into my junior year of high school, I knew I would only be there for 6 weeks. So that whole month of being at school and being pregnant and knowing that I would move, it is its own story time. I actually have a story time about it that you can click on right here, and it'll tell you all about how that month went. Basically, everyone found out that I was pregnant and it went horribly. He called me like a human incubator, grabs my hair and like pulls me down. He threw me like to the ground. Yeah, like I said, it's its own story. Anyways, I moved after that and I was left with a question: what do I do from here? I had basically 3 options. I could go to public school during my pregnancy, I could homeschool during my pregnancy, or I could go to a pregnant person school. I knew right off the bat I did not want to go to public school. I was having a hard time in public school as is, and then on top of the fact of being the new pregnant girl, definitely did not sound fun. So I knew I didn't want to do public school, and then I was left with pregnant school or homeschooling. I looked into programs for girls like me in my area. There was nothing, no kind of alternative school for me to go to with people in similar situations. I probably would have chose that option if it was available to me, but it wasn't, so I was left with homeschooling. And I did amazing at it. I loved learning still, even though I wasn't in a classroom environment. I was on my computer, but that didn't change anything. I still did great. I still loved it, and I got great grades. I got straight A's all throughout my homeschooling time. So yeah, it was super smooth and easy when I was pregnant. I was very bored. I had no friends and nothing to do because I was homeschooling and we had just moved there, but at least I was doing good in school and that was going smoothly. At the time, I planned on graduating high school through homeschooling. I was going to homeschool for my junior and senior year and finish it up and be done with it. And after high school, I planned on being a photographer. My mom is a photographer and she has all the equipment and all the knowledge I would need to get me started. So it just seemed like the easiest thing to do at the time and the best way I could to support my daughter. By the way, at the time, my baby daddy slash boyfriend, he was still going to the same school that I had just left in Texas, and he was also working at the time at Papa John's. He would wake up, go to school, go straight home from school, go straight to work, come home, and go to bed. He had no life at all besides work and school. And then he was providing me with money in order to buy things like a crib and all the baby stuff you need when you're pregnant. So as I said, I was very, very bored and lonely during that time. Absolutely no friends, nothing to do, in a brand new town where I didn't know anyone. So I decided to start a YouTube. I had watched many girls who were in my situation just to hear their story and their perspective on the whole teen pregnancy thing, teen mom thing, and I really just went to YouTube for advice, and I found this amazing community of teen moms supporting each other, and I wanted to join. So I turned on my camera and I filmed a little video, and the first video we actually filmed was her gender reveal. But yeah, I just started making a video once a week, just, you know, giving a piece of advice, telling stories, a vlog here and there. I made a video called Day in the Life of a Pregnant Teen in High School, and when I first posted it, it only got probably less than 100 views. Anyways, fast forward to February 12th, I have an emergency C-section at 33 weeks pregnant. It was very scary. My baby ended up staying in the NICU for 2 weeks. At the time, I really wasn't concerned about my YouTube channel. It was just a hobby and I had put it on hold. Wasn't even looking at it, checking up on it or anything. So after I bring my baby home from the NICU and I kind of get settled, get back to my homeschooling because I had taken a break from that as well, I checked my YouTube and my video had gone viral. The one I was talking about earlier, Day in the Life of a Pregnant Teen, it just got thousands and thousands of views and I didn't know why. A completely random thing. None of my other videos had done that before. I think the most views I had got before that was maybe 1,000, maybe. But yeah, it just went crazy. My channel started blowing up. I started gaining subscribers. In 1 week, I think I gained 5,000 subscribers, which is crazy for someone who's just starting out. So yeah, that happened and I started taking it a little bit more seriously. I continued to upload once a week. Things were going great. My channel was gaining more and more subscribers every day. However, I was not doing very well at school. It wasn't even the whole YouTube thing that really threw me off, because I only spent a good 3 hours doing YouTube a week. Back then, it was a lot simpler. I didn't have to put a whole lot of time and effort into YouTube. So yeah, that wasn't even really the thing that was holding me back as far as school. Honestly, it was just having a newborn. Having a newborn is a whole nother state of mind that you're in. The exhaustion that you feel, you're a zombie during that time. Sleep deprivation really does take a toll on you. I wasn't doing anything other than eating, sleeping, taking care of my baby, and then I tried to squeeze in uploading a video, and then also trying to squeeze in doing some schoolwork. It was just a lot that was on my plate at once. And then as my channel started to gain traction, more and more people started to come watch my videos. I had to put more effort into them, had to kind of think them out more. It started to become more like a job. And I obviously knew at the time that people can make money off YouTube. I've been watching YouTube for the longest time. I've actually had many failed YouTube channels before I made this one. And I always thought it would be super cool to have that as a career. I had followed lots of people on YouTube who had made it their career, and I thought that was so awesome. I never thought I could achieve that. You know, maybe someday in a crazy world I'd be able to make YouTube my career. So yeah, at that time my goal had kind of shifted from being a photographer, graduating high school and going that route, to what if I make this my career and be a YouTuber and put all of my energy into that. So yeah, I started putting a lot of effort into my channel. I started really getting into the details of it, not just posting videos, but really the SEO and the business aspect of it, starting a brand and really looking at it as a job. And it definitely showed in my work. I just started gaining more and more subscribers faster and faster. It was definitely working, but I was still trying to squeeze in doing homeschooling at the same time. Basically, as time went on, it got harder and harder for me to do school. And honestly, I kind of had the mindset of, I don't even want to go to college anyways. Do I really need a high school diploma? And I feel like that's kind of where some people start to judge. Everyone, especially older people, kind of have this mindset of you need to go to high school, you need to go to college, and you need to do things this way in order to succeed. And in most cases, don't get me wrong, in almost all cases, that is how it is. You go to high school, you go to college, you get your degree, you get a job, and hopefully from that point on, you live comfortably, grow a family. American dream, right? And I could definitely see where people can look at me at that time and tell me, what in the world are you thinking? You can't just drop out of high school and become a YouTuber and make YouTube your career. But I just had a feeling in my heart that that was the best thing to do for me. I had faith in my YouTube channel. I had faith in the fact that it could help me to, you know, get somewhere. And at the time, we were supporting our daughter strictly off of Papa John's money. Things were tight. We were struggling to make it work. So right when I kind of started to think about these kind of things, my channel was monetized. Actually, right before my channel got monetized, I hit the monetization mark, and literally the same day that I hit the mark, they raised the bar. So it used to be you needed to have this many subscribers to make money off of YouTube, and then they raised it up to this many. So that was really hard, but I ended up working and trying to meet the next mark, and I eventually met it. And at that point, that's really when I decided, okay, I'm going all in. This is going to be my career. I want to pursue this. I want to do this for the rest of my life. I love filming and editing and posting videos. I love sharing my life with all of you guys. I love the fact that I could look back on all my daughter's memories growing up. I loved it. I loved the whole community. I loved everything about it, and I wanted to do it. So yeah, I had pretty much made the decision but I had to convince my parents. At the time, my parents had just gotten a divorce, so obviously I went to my dad first. He's known to be the more lenient parent. I go to my dad, and fun fact, he's an entrepreneur. He's really where I get my entrepreneurial mindset from, so I knew that he would definitely understand. So I went to him and I said, Dad, I want to become a YouTuber, and I don't want to do my classes anymore. They're getting in the way of things. I don't really feel like I'm getting anywhere with that. I am doing all this work, taking all this time and energy out of my day to do these classes, and for what? It seems like a waste of time, honestly. And he agreed with me. I'm wasting my time putting my energy into the wrong place. I have this amazing opportunity right here that can help me to support my family. I was so passionate about it and ready to just work as hard as I needed to grow my channel, to make every video better and better, to really work at it. And then I had my online classes that I hated at the time. I really started to resent it. After I had this amazing opportunity right here, I resented doing my school so much. I really just felt like it was holding me back from reaching my full potential on YouTube. And I knew that YouTube is what I wanted to do for basically the rest of my life. He agreed with me. It was stupid to put time and energy into a high school diploma when I don't even want to go to college in the first place. And even if the whole YouTube thing doesn't work out, there's still photography. You don't need to go to college for photography at all. If YouTube decided to crumble and fall, I would still pursue photography, do that, make money off of that. I wasn't totally in love with it and passionate about it, but if that's what I needed to do to make money for my daughter, I would have totally just done that instead. So I did have a plan B going into this whole thing. But yeah, he agreed with me, and he told me, look, I agree, you can stop doing your classes, but you have to get your GED. And yeah, I totally agreed with him. I really wanted to get my GED, so the opportunity of going to college is still there. If you don't know what a GED is, to kind of explain it, it's basically a test to kind of opt out of your last little bit of high school. So about halfway through high school, they'll let you take this test. After taking the test, you are basically a high school graduate. You can still go to college. A lot of colleges accept GEDs. Basically, my plan was to get my GED, focus on my YouTube, and if I ended up wanting to go to college one day, the option was there because I had my GED. Next, I had to convince my mom of this plan. She said, absolutely no way, you are finishing your classes, you are graduating homeschool. She just wasn't gonna let it happen. I just kept nagging her about it. I even scheduled an online meeting with my counselor behind her back to talk about the option. And my counselor told me she agreed, basically same thing my dad said. I can still do everything I want to in life with getting my GED. So eventually I just sat my mom down and just explained it to her in its simplest form, and I said, look, here is my goal. Being a high school graduate and being able to be accepted into community college. Because I knew I wasn't going to Harvard, I was a teen mom, I knew I was going to go to a community college anyways, if I did ever decide to go to college. So yes, here's my goal, and there's two ways of achieving it. The first way is through doing my online school, getting my courses done, putting all this time and energy into finishing high school. At that point, I still had a year and a half left. I had half of my junior year and then all of my senior year. If I was still doing homeschooling, I probably wouldn't even have graduated until I was 19. I had started getting really behind when Collette was first born, so at that point, I was pretty much barely doing classes. So yeah, putting all this time and energy into homeschooling when I have a baby to take care of and a YouTube career. Or I can go in, take a test, opt out of all that extra stress and time and energy, and instead put my attention towards YouTube, what I really love to do, and what's actually making me money. It's just such an obvious choice, because literally I'm telling you now, in my situation, there's no difference. Unless you want to be a doctor or a lawyer or something that takes a higher education, then there's no difference between getting your GED or getting your high school diploma. I'm not going to go any farther in life getting my high school diploma than getting my GED. I can still go to community college. My options are still open. It doesn't hold me back from anything that I was planning on doing. So yeah, just keep in mind that there's literally no difference between the two. One just takes a lot more work. I've always just been a very logical person, so it just logically just didn't make sense. So I explained that all to her, and she said, all right, it's about to be summer. And in summer, I didn't have to do school anyways. So she said, during summer, I have to prove myself as a YouTuber. I could not spend my days sitting on the couch, being unproductive, doing nothing, just laying around, not getting much done. If I was going to do this whole YouTube thing, I had to be working. I had to be treating it like a job. I had to be serious about it. I had to be actively trying my hardest at this whole YouTube thing. And so yeah, that same day I called up my online school, I unenrolled myself, and I started pursuing YouTube full time. At the time, I had under 100,000 subscribers. My first paycheck hadn't even come in yet, so I knew that I really had to make this work in the next 3 months, or else my mom said I would have to go back into online school and I wasn't going to be able to get my GED. So yeah, I knew exactly what I had to do. And because it was summer, my boyfriend got to come live with us. He didn't have school holding him down there, so he temporarily quit his job at Papa John's and came here starting June. He had about $800 saved up coming here, and he was planning on getting a job right when he got here. We looked around and there wasn't a lot of options, and it was already summer and there wasn't any summer jobs available because everyone had kind of already signed up. So yeah, we kind of struggled finding him a job, but my first check was about to come in, and I don't know, we kind of just said, we have enough money, we have $800 plus my check was about to come in, that should be enough to support our little family for the summer. He never ended up getting another job, and we ended up just doing YouTube, always going out and doing stuff, filming, vlogging, really grinding and working hard. So I started the summer with just under 100,000 subscribers, and I ended the summer with over 300,000 subscribers. It is pretty rare for people to gain that many subscribers that fast. You guys seemed to love Landon when he came during the summer, and it really became a family channel rather than just me and my baby. That's when things really started to explode. So yeah, fast forward to the end of the summer, Landon's gonna have to be moving back to Texas soon, and I knew I couldn't let that happen. I couldn't have spent the whole summer with Landon and him spend the whole summer with his baby girl just to leave and finish his senior year in Texas. So we talked to his parents and my parents, and eventually we convinced them to let him stay. So he ends up moving here. We're doing great. We have money now. We're no longer struggling, trying to get by. YouTube is thriving. We're doing amazing. But it was really hard to be living with my mom. We were our own little family unit, and it just kind of felt like we were renting out a room in my mom's house. Also, at the time, my mom wouldn't let us sleep together in the same room to take care of Collette. She separated me and Landon, so we had to switch off in the night with the baby. That was getting really hard for us as well, and we really just needed our own space. We had outgrown living at my mom's house. So then we had to go and convince my parents to let us move out. I was only 17, so it was a little tricky, but I had the financial means to support myself because of YouTube, and if I hadn't had that, I definitely would not be living on my own right now. The main reason they let us move out is because we were adults. We weren't legal adults, but we were living adult lives, acting like adults. So they treated us like the adults we are, and they let us live on our own. And since then, things have just been so amazing. I love my parents and I still see them super often, but living on your own is just the best feeling. I started my channel over a year ago, and I spent the last year building a life for myself through YouTube. And I just look around and I'm like, I built all of this. And it's just crazy to look around and see all that has come just through this app, through this website that you post videos on. So yeah, we moved out. It was no longer summer. Landon ended up enrolling in the same online school that I was previously enrolled in. So he started doing that, and he's still doing that to this day. He plans on graduating from online school and then either going to college or taking steps to get his realtor's license. So yeah, even though I am a YouTuber and I provide for us as of now, he's still taking the steps to be able to kind of take over eventually as far as being the breadwinner. But for now, I'm glad that I have enough to support us and to send him to college and to pay for his braces and to make sure that our family is comfortable where we're at right now until Landon can kind of take over in that aspect. And yeah, I'm just doing YouTube full time. This is my job. This is my career. I put a lot of effort and thought and care into every single video you guys see. And even when I'm not filming and editing videos, I'm seeking ways to make my channel better. Just always doing research, seeing what you guys want to see, asking for your feedback, doing SEO type stuff. There's a lot that goes into it, and I really work. It just seems like I film a video and I post it and I get money and it's whatever. No, it's a job. I work. I have a schedule. I work between these hours and these hours. It's a job for me, and I do take it very, very, very seriously in that aspect. I get asked a lot, what is my plans for my career, for college? I'm at that age where all my peers, all the people I used to go to high school with, they're all signing up for college. So a lot of people are asking me what my plans are. And my plans as far as my career is YouTube. I love YouTube. There's nothing in the foreseeable future that would make me stop doing YouTube. Everyone always says, what if YouTube just randomly fails? It's the second largest search engine in the entire world. I don't think it's randomly gonna fail. So many people depend on it for a job. Thousands and thousands of YouTubers out there are living off of YouTube, and I feel like a lot of people don't really understand that it's a job. When someone asks me what's my job and I say I'm a YouTuber, they say, oh, that's a job? I'm like, what? You make videos? I'm kind of confused, especially older people. But yes, YouTube is a job. I work hard at it. I make money to support my family, and I love what I do. As far as college goes, I don't plan on going to college. As of right now, I don't plan on it. The option is there for me because I'm taking my GED. So if one day I decide that I do want to go to community college, I can go ahead and do that. I just feel like everyone goes to college because there's a lot of social pressure too. In my opinion, college is definitely necessary if your job field requires you to have a degree. If you want to be a lawyer or a doctor or a veterinarian or a school teacher, you need to go to college. But if you're going to school for something like photography, kind of a waste of time and money. There's lots of ways to learn how to be a photographer. There's forums and there's classes you could probably take that are outside of college. Basically what I'm trying to say is there's a lot of ways to learn something. Do not get me wrong, I am not saying don't finish high school, don't go to college. Not what I'm saying at all. And that's why I was so scared to make this video in the first place, because I don't want to convey that message. High school and college are so important to a lot of people. It's not for everyone, it wasn't for me, but that doesn't mean it's not for you. And I am definitely not telling you to get pregnant, start a YouTube channel, and drop out of high school. No. Do not do that, please. My situation is so rare. Rarely happens. There is a lot of failed teen mom YouTube channels. A lot of teen moms make channels thinking it'll turn out great and they'll make money and it'll be their job. Just because you get pregnant at a young age doesn't mean you're gonna have a successful YouTube channel. I put a lot of work into my channel, a lot of time and energy and effort. It's definitely not as easy as it seems. So yeah. This is just the path that worked best for me. Not saying it's gonna work forever, which is why Landon has a plan, but it works for now and I'm supporting my family. And I love what I do. I'm so blessed and grateful that this is what I get to do. And it's really all because of you guys and your support. So yeah, that is the story of me dropping out of high school and becoming a YouTuber. I hope that cleared up a lot of questions that I've been getting lately. Definitely not a very conventional path that I went down, But like I said, it's working for us. I'm able to support my family. We're moving out of an apartment into an actual home in a few months. And yeah, I'm just so blessed and grateful. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video, Camily.